Is it possible to feel younger as we age? Bodybuilding culture sells us on big muscles and six packs while preventing us from seeing simple bodyweight exercises that can slow down the aging process. We took the heavy lifting route, got stronger, but wound up stiff and in pretty bad shape. Now our main focus is slowing down aging so we can play and be present with our kids. Power, mobility, and strength. These exercises will make people ask you if you're 10 years younger. The key is to master and maintain them as you age. Do these now or regret it later.
The horse stance trains hip mobility as well as strength endurance of the lower body. If you can hold a horse stance for 1, maybe 2 minutes, there's no doubt that you could hike up a mountain or run a couple miles around the block. The cool thing about horse stance, as you become stronger, you'll be able to sit your hips down lower, and this will create more hip mobility. Your glutes get really strong, your inner thighs get strong in an open position. You can do different variations. You can do squats into the horse stance. You can do Cossack squats through the horse stance. But the horse stance holds are very unique to this list. This is strength endurance. This is conditioning for the lower body, where you're gonna have to train your willpower. Your legs are gonna start shaking, but can you muster the discipline to stay down there another few seconds?
The split squat is one of the ultimate displays of lower body mobility, specifically for the hip flexors. And I think it's pretty clear when we get older, we start to hunch forward. So keeping the front of the body more open, it's just gonna be so good for posture. I don't even think you need to stretch your hip flexors if you're doing lots of split squats, and it requires a good amount of lower body strength. When I'm in my 60s, I don't wanna be doing like strength workouts and mobility workouts. I think just condensing everything is great, and the split squat just checks so many boxes. The push-up is probably the simplest and most effective body weight strength exercise you can do. I mean, think about it. You just put your hands on the ground, lower your chest, and press back up. You can develop strong and muscular chest, shoulders, triceps, even your core has to work really hard. And honestly, I don't even think you need to do a ton of core work if you're just doing lots of push-ups. You're holding a plank for so long. I think for me, in my 60s, I'd be stoked if I could do 30 push-ups.
25.
30. That would mean I'm strong enough to do whatever really I want to do in life.
The shoulder roll develops body awareness. I mean, I'd even say athleticism, right? Like, how many 60-year-olds do you know that can do a shoulder roll on the ground? The caveat being, if you train martial arts. All martial artists know how to roll because it keeps you safe. If you can roll on the ground confidently, you'll never be scared of falling. And most people really don't understand that rolling takes a lot of spine mobility. It takes core strength. Heck, it even takes a good amount of neck mobility. In my eyes, rolling is very underrated. I want to be able to roll forwards, backwards, and even take a roll from standing. And I want to be able to do this my whole life.
The resting squat is a fundamental human position that honestly, I think everyone should be able to do. It's a great display of lower body mobility. You have to be flexible in your ankles, your knees, your hips, even your low back. And the great thing is it's so easy to work on. You don't need any equipment. You just sit down, trying to get your hips towards your heels. And if you find it really challenging, just find a little slope with your toes on the lower end. It's gonna feel way easier. And you and I now have kids. We spend a lot of time in squats near the ground, and honestly, I want to be able to do that with my grandkids. The broad jump is the only one on this list that requires power, which is the ability to generate a lot of force quickly. And power is the first thing you start to lose when you age, so a little bit of maintenance here will go such a long way. You don't have to be a track athlete. If you can simply jump your body height and distance, then you have a decent amount of power. And if you can do that, you can likely run fast and play sports. And if you're in your 20s, 30s, even 40s, 1.5 times your height is a really good goal to work up to.
The bridge push-up is quite literally the anti-aging mobility. Think of your grandpa hunched over into his lazy boy. The bridge position is the exact opposite of that. To do it, you need flexible hip flexors, you need spine extension, you need really mobile shoulders, and you gotta have the wrist strength to be able to press yourself up. And for men in particular, especially if we're doing strength training like pull-ups, push-ups, and even bench press, it becomes very hard to develop this position and to maintain it. So it's not about becoming a gymnast. You don't have to have this perfect back bridge pose, but that's why I particularly like the push-ups, because we use strength. And a good goal to start is to be able to lift your head from the ground. But to master this position, I think getting your head 6 inches off the ground and maintaining that as you age, you're gonna have pretty awesome flexibility.
The duck walk is the ultimate movement for lower body joint conditioning. I mean, look at what the duck walk is. Your knees have to be able to compress the whole way, your toes have to be able to extend all the way, and you have to support your entire body weight on one leg. Look, if I could duck walk later in my life, I think I can feel confident that my risk of injury of just doing daily tasks or exercises is so small.
The Cossack Squat is really the easiest way to keep your inner thighs flexible and strong. It's a squat on one leg and a hamstring and groin stretch on the other. The cool thing is, I think if you get really good at Cossack squats, it means you'll automatically have enough mobility to sit into a deep resting squat. For me personally, my inner thighs have always been stiffer, but doing Cossack squats has helped me open that range of motion, and I know that's gonna be the way that I can keep it into my older years.
Crawling is a fundamental and developmental movement that we've all done before. There's a reason why it's found its way into a lot of physical therapy. There's something about it that's really healing for the body. It's really the only movement that connects the upper body to the lower body in this really natural way, where the opposite arm and leg move together, just like walking and sprinting. And I mean, I'm always surprised at how strong you actually have to be to do these. You know, your first few steps might feel easy, but if you do these for more than 10 steps, you're gonna feel your whole body getting tired.
Pull-ups are the king of body weight back development. They're the hardest basic calisthenics movement, and that's why a lot of people don't do them. And it embodies hanging. Before you even train your pull-ups, you should be able to hang for at least 30 to 60 seconds. If you can't even do 1 or 2 pull-ups right now, then go watch one of our videos on developing the pull-up. Your first goal is obviously 1, and then it's to get to 5 pull-ups. Now, you can do these overhand, underhand, neutral grip, it really doesn't matter. But hold yourself to a standard of a dead hang at the bottom, getting your chin over at the top, and not using your legs to kip yourself up. I wanna be able to maintain the ability to do 20 pull-ups when I'm 75. Okay, just kidding. But I would like to be able to do 10 pull-ups when I'm in my 60s.
I'm gonna check back in with this video every year and let you guys know if I'm maintaining these. We'll see in 20 years, right? How many of these have you mastered? And what would you add to the list? Comment below and let us know. The hardest movements on this list are no doubt the ones like bridge push-up and Cossack squats that take a lot of mobility. Join our Master Mobility program to be guided towards developing awesome flexibility in your later years. First link below. Because I really believe in these 11 movements, I wanted to give you guys a way to build them into a small workout program for yourself. Let's split them up into 1 day mobility focused and 1 day strength focused. You can screenshot this program and save this video. Day 1, movement and mobility. First, you'll superset crawl and duck walks, then you'll superset horse stance and bridge push-up, and you'll finish up with 10 minutes of practicing your shoulder rolls. Day 2, strength. First, you'll superset push-ups and broad jumps, then you'll superset pull-ups and split squats, and you'll finish it up with working on your Cossack squat. I'm a fan of building the resting squat into your lifestyle, so use 30 to 60 seconds frequently throughout your day. If you guys want a PDF with this plan, then let us know, and if we get enough comments below, we'll send it to you. As always.